listening for the very first time to La Fontaine de Hétuze with its hypnotic combination between the seamlessly flowing piano texture and the soaring, extremely high violin melody, instantly transported me to a different planet. Szymanowski's wartime music is a watershed for the composer in personal and artistic ways. Its inception bringing to fore many existential issues in both areas. His wartime works uniquely combined the passion of German post-Romanticism with the textural, colorful elements of Franco-Russian music, and such blend was only possible thanks to a continuous recollection of travels he's done before the war, particularly to Sicily. Visits to sites such as the ruins of Segesta and Siracusa brought him in close touch to Greek mythology, which became the essential programmatic backdrop in his music. Moreover, Greek mythology, as the founding stone of Western civilization, is essential to the concept of pan-Europeanism, Szymanowski's own term. In the composer's imagination, Sicily was the quintessential pan-European land, his own Arcadia, a place in which many different cultures from different eras mingle amid stunning, unspoiled nature, and a utopic site where purely human solidarity exists in the sphere of the most elevated intellectual, aesthetic, and ethical matters. Apart from a recording I've heard when I was a teenager of Rubinstein playing a few mazurkas, it wasn't until my early 20s that I got to know Szymanowski's music better. And the first time I actually got in touch with it was through a recording of Myths, a very beautiful recording that made me think immediately, why on earth is this music not played enough? And since that moment, I realized that getting to know Szymanowski's music better and playing it often became a personal mission to me. In an account of the first of Szymanowski's Sicilian trips, in 1911, his friend Stefan Spies gives us a grasp of the composer's rapture. We made an excursion to Segesta, beautifully situated amidst hillocks, lost, lonely in the depths of a valley. After we had been going along this valley for such a long time, we suddenly saw emerging from behind the curves of a hill a pale, yellow temple with dark columns, as if brought alive from Greece. We were enchanted by this view. For Szymanowski, Sicily was a place where the remote perfection of the Greek temple could easily intermingle with a life dedicated to pleasure. In other words, could find Apollonian and Dionysian forces not only coexisting, but rather coming together as a unity. Such hedonism was paramount in the composer's visits to the island, also because it was there that he came to acknowledge his homosexuality and narcissism. Two later works of Szymanowski's, made such life-changing experiences explicit. The opera King Roger and the novel Ephebos, both set in Sicily and hinting at autobiographical, and by extension, homosexual content. It's fair to say that, by traveling to Sicily, Szymanowski fully understood who he was as man and artist. Like Narcissus, he could stare at his own reflection and appreciate what was in front of him. Yet, realizing that his newly created imaginary world, so vividly present in his art, would never possibly materialize in real life.